Alright, welcome back to Deep Within the Man Cave. On this episode will be part 2 of the anger episodes. So we'll do a quick review of the first episode. I'll tell you a bit more about my story. I grew up in a household that had a negative mindset after my parents split up. So unfortunately, it was a learned behavior. It definitely wasn't intentional, and it's definitely nobody's fault, but that's just with the situation that we were dealt. That's what it ended up looking like. I was 13 years old, taking care of my mom, who was severely depressed, and my sister, who was 3 years younger than me. So, I felt I had to take care of them, and it was just a learned behavior, and I didn't realize it until, I would say, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, that's actually the way I was looking at everything, was through a negative mindset. Now I've got to myself where I can live in the moment, and I choose to not look at things in a negative mindset. Sometimes, yes, I do slip back in, like we all will, but that's just part of the struggle. So you want to be in a positive mindset as often and as long as you can, because that's the best place to be. So anger, like I said in the last episode, is actually just a cover for past hurt. Sort of like it's the scab on the wound. It's covering up, it's protecting the hurt. It's protecting the wound on your arm where the scab is. And it can come from early childhood to whatever. So, in this episode, I'm going to show you the ways I've learned to handle it and to deal with it. Now, a little side note, I had pre-recorded this one once already today, and I was about 20 minutes into it when my phone said, oh, no more storage, and just stopped the video. So, and then I dealt with that, and then it did it again, but I was only a couple minutes in. So, it could be considered a frustrating thing to have to re-record and restart over and redo your thought press like 3 times, but it is what it is. You can't change it. So I cleaned up my phone a little bit, and now I'm redoing it. So I choose not to look at it as a negative, and easily could have gotten angry at it, could have just said, screw it, I'm not doing this tonight, and quit. But no, it's a minor inconvenience, and you just move forward. You do what you have to do to get stuff done. This YouTube channel is very important to me. It's something I'm passionate about, trying to help somebody better their life and maybe not go through what I've had to go through, or maybe give hope to somebody that, yeah, it might be shitty now, but it's not going to be shitty forever. So, yeah, that's positive mindset right there. Prime example of it, not letting minuscule stuff affect you in a negative manner. So, the way I've learned best to handle my anger was first of all, you need to do physical exhaustion. It's key. So lots of different ways. You have to do this in a safe, private area where no one's watching you, no anything like that. So that's the key. So if you're gonna do it in your house or whatever, go to your garage, lock the doors, Make sure no one can accidentally come in and see you. And yeah, because you don't want, family or any other to see you dealing with this. This is a way for you personally to get over it, and deal with it. It's not an exhibition or something that anybody needs to see, because it can get ugly and it can be scary for somebody not knowing what you're doing if they walk in on it and see it and they're like, oh, and some of the, so you just got to be safe in a safe place for yourself, and a private place is the key. So in your car, windows up, preferably while you're not driving, in a parking lot or whatever, parked car, yell, scream, get angry, curse, swear, whatever you have to do. Slam the steering wheel, punch the dash. Don't break it, or hurt yourself, but let it out. Find yourself an old wooden pallet. I mean, lots of places are getting rid of them. You can get them for free. Take yourself a hammer and just yell and scream at it like it's, if you're angry at somebody, like it's that person. Yell, scream, call them names. Just yell and scream and beat it with a hammer or chop it with an axe. Chopping wood works well. I've done that. Yell at the log that you're chopping. You just got to keep the anger. If you let the anger flow out of you, then you get to the hurt, and that is key. So that's just a couple examples. I purchased myself a punching bag and set of boxing gloves and mounted it in my garage, close all the doors, turn on some music, sometimes some sad stuff to get the emotions rolling, or sometimes some angry stuff just to get the emotions rolling. Whatever works for you. And yeah, I have done, it's worked for me. I can burn off any anger and work myself to absolute exhaustion, like half an hour, 45 minutes, So what happens when you're doing this, is you start off angry. And if you allow yourself, and this is the thing, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it might feel like you're not manly or anything like that because you start to cry or something like that. That's all bullshit. Everybody cries. It's fine to cry. And so in a safe place like my garage, when no one's around, close all the doors, put on some music, and I start wailing on the punching bag, and I curse and I swear, and I get so mad at whatever has triggered me for that day, and quite often it leads into other things that I wasn't even thinking about, that pissed me off or something like that. You keep going, you keep punching, you keep punching. Your arms are tired? Nah, you keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. You shouldn't be able to move your arms when you're done. And if you do it right, physical exhaustion, what happens is it releases, your adrenaline can trigger your emotions. And that's what you have to deal with. And that's why it's awkward. But you do it in private. Bring yourself a towel, roll of paper towels, whatever. You cry, just let it out. Let it out. No one's around. No one's going to see you. As long as you're in private and in a safe place. And it has to be safe. Like, you don't want to set up a punching bag or something like that in a park or in the backyard or something like that when maybe your neighbor's looking out the window wondering what's going on. Whatever. It needs to be private, but it also has to be safe and comfortable for you. So, That is the key. So I go in my garage and close the doors and I wail on my punching bag. I curse, I scream at it. It releases some anger. And then I get to a point where I cry and keep on crying and end up, bawling my eyes out. Still punching the punching bag, because that is key. Don't stop. Don't wipe away your tears. Don't blow your nose. Just let it all out. It's gross. It's disgusting. That's why you brought a towel. And no one's going to see you. So it's all good. So if you do this, it releases the anger. And if you do it long enough, you're not going to be able to move your arms. But you will feel like a release at the end of it. And that is what you want to get to. The release is key. So you must do that to exhaustion. Now, I've done it 4 times to the point where I've puked my guts out after bawling and whatever. First time it felt very awkward and very weird, even though I was by myself. But I kept doing it, and the release at the end of it is amazing. It's like a massive weight is off your shoulders. So keep doing that, and no one's going to see you cry, whatever. And it's okay to cry. You're human. We have feelings. So that's how you handle it. Now, if something else triggers you, say during the day, and you can't get to it right away, write it down. Sometimes just journaling it, you can release it. It's also important to do the physical act afterwards. If you don't have access to a punching bag or anything like that, and you live close to a wooded area, go in the woods and where no one can see you or hear you, just scream at a tree, curse at the tree, yell at it, scream, let it out. Do push-ups until you can't lift yourself up anymore, and then do more. So, excuse me there, technical difficulty. So yeah, you have to exhaust yourself. Lots of mosquitoes here in the man cave. So that is key. And if you do it correctly and properly, you will feel so much release after this. Now, like I've said, I've done it 4 times where I've actually got to the point where there is a release at the end of it. I no longer feel angry and irritable at things. Yes, things still piss me off, and I do get triggered, but I go deal with it right away or within 24 hours if you can. That is key. You work on the new stuff first, and then eventually you keep peeling away the onion of anger that you have, say. So that's how you also keep it at bay, because you don't want to erupt if somebody says something, because then you look like a dick and an asshole, and that's not who you are, and that's not what you want to present to others. So by doing this, just know that, okay, Bob said something shitty to me at work and he really pissed me off. And if I beat him up at work, then I'm probably going to jail. And that ain't good for anybody. So, don't do it. Go to a safe place, go to your car, yell, curse, scream, punch the steering wheel, yell at them, call them names, whatever. You'll feel better. Do it in a safe, private area. Key. That is key. You do that, and then you'll be all right. And if you can't get at it right away, like I said, write it down. Journal it. Get to it later when you have time. But it's important to do it where you can exhaust yourself, because that will actually create the release. And, it could take 20 minutes, could take 5 minutes. I've been in here for 45 minutes and not gotten anything, which has kind of made me angry. So I keep on going. And then 10 minutes later, I can't even walk, let alone anything else, and I feel way better. So this is key. The exhaustion is key because you will feel a massive weight off your shoulders afterwards. And it's quite an amazing experience to go through life knowing that, okay, if something pisses me off, I know how to handle it. I wasn't always like that. It's caused a lot of damage in my relationships, but I can honestly say now that yes, I still get triggered, but I will not, I know how to handle it. I can excuse myself out of the situation and deal with it, or prepare myself to deal with it. Now, it's important when you're doing this stuff that your confidence is high. You don't want to do it when you're low. So boost yourself up before you're going to do it. Daily affirmations, help somebody out, volunteer somebody, pay it forward. You're having a crummy day and you're in the drive-thru, pay for the person behind you's meal. That's a good self-confidence boost. And and then tackle this stuff. That's pretty much it on what I've learned now. Nobody wants to be the asshole that runs around yelling at people and gets triggered at people that people are afraid of. I know I don't. I know I was. Non-intentionally, of course. But yeah, it's caused a lot of damage. And I didn't even think, I didn't consider myself that angry. But I have a lot of hurt from the past that now I am dealing with or have dealt with. And like I said, it's like an onion. You just keep peeling back the layers and layers and layers and layers. So, get with the new stuff first. Handle that first. Boost your confidence. Somewhere safe and private. Don't do it in front of people. And just let it all out. You're not a wuss for crying. And if you don't, and if that is one of the things that you can't let you get yourself to, I guarantee you somewhere down the line could have been, a brother or a sister or something like that, well, don't cry, saying something like that, like elementary school. Well, don't cry, you wuss, or something like that. That could be a trigger. And that's, maybe you can't get that. Maybe that's something you need to look at. And, so you go back. You go back and say, I'm not a wuss. I'm okay. You're human. You have feelings. You have emotions. Let them out. It's okay to cry. Everybody does it. You're not a badass if you keep all your anger in. You're just an angry asshole. Sorry to say. So, these are the things that I have learned. They have worked for me. If you need some help, message me, shoot me a comment. I'll reply to you. I can sort of give an example, whatnot, and I can get you to, even some reading or anything like that. It's very important. Be kind to yourself. You're human. You have feelings. You have emotions. It's important. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to others because you don't know what they're going through. Take care of yourselves. Look out for each other. And be safe. Till the next episode of Deep Within the Man Cave, take care and be kind.